My name is Priyanka Menon. For today's session, the topic for today's session is breastfeeding and working, the struggle, juggle, and the balance that the mothers have to, or maybe they will be doing that. So accordingly, we'll speak to one of the other mothers, the counselors, the doctors who have been with us with the journey. So accordingly, now I introduce Dr. Sakshi Bhardwaj, who is a mother of 3 kids, and she has a decade of experience.
I'm a mother of 1 kid only.
Oh, okay. Sorry. A mother of 1, and you have breastfed him, I think, for 4 years.
Yes. He's
yes,
around
and
5.
5 working.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have handholded the mothers, who has been breastfeeding and all. So I'll now give it to Sakshi to go ahead and share her experience.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you so much. I'm so overwhelmed by joining this forum, seeing so many beautiful faces talking about just one important topic of our life. The first 1,000 days of life, which is so important for all of us. That is obviously the prime nutrition of our life. That's how we govern our fitness and our life post to that. So my journey started almost 10 years back when I joined this profession, helping mothers and little ones in their early journeys, because it's their birth as well. When they're starting their motherhood, mothers feel totally naive with the whole concept. We all feel, and the family members also feel, that it should come naturally for them to feed their babies, but it doesn't happen that way. There's so many ifs and buts and questions, queries. It's basically a task altogether which is being put on them, and I feel that anybody and everybody, be it counselors, be it consultants, be it pediatricians, be it gynecologists, everybody has their own independent role in making it a success for them, because even if there is one step which is taken aback, they won't be able to be successful in that. And I give the complete credit to my knowledge that I have, that I was able to successfully be with my baby, give him nutrition for good 4 years. That was the only reason, because I also had my strenuous situations, because I joined work when my little one was 8 months old, and I was obviously still feeding the baby, for the fact that the baby was being put on a little bit of semi-solids and that kind of diet. But then feeding thing was there, and again then COVID happened in 2020 while he was just 1 year old. So I got COVID 4 times in that time period. So I was infected again and again and again, because I was very much in the because the hospital had halted. I'm working with Manipal group of hospitals, but deliveries could not halt. Obviously, we were delivering babies, and there were COVID positive mothers also. So we had to go and meet them. So there have been instances wherein I got infected and I was isolated with my little one. I did feed my little one, and thankfully he did not get COVID in that duration. So I have that, I feel that functional experience, that when you're infected, it's not mandatory that you will infect the baby. You might give antibodies to the baby. That itself, I tell all the mothers that I've experienced it, I've seen it, that till date, my baby never had COVID. I had 4 times though. So for the fact that I was feeding the baby, maybe that was one thing that helped. And definitely there are ups and downs in your, motherhood journey, in the feeding journey, when you are working as well as you're taking care of the baby, because that really bothers you. You get a lot of fullness while you are at work. When you're feeding the baby, there has been a detachment with the baby, because you're back to work. You feel a maternal guilt that you're leaving the baby at home and you're at work. So that phases will be there, but I still feel that for all the mothers to work, it is equally important for your mental health. It is equally important for your self-support. It is equally important for your mental growth as well, because once you will be positive about yourself, you can impart that positivity to your child and to your family as well. That's equally important. So definitely we should be giving equal importance to our self-being as well. Definitely. And this was my journey as of now. I've touched 5,000 lives till now, and many more to go post to this. I am planning to touch more lives as I progress further. And let's see how I can give best to this phase and this journey of my life.
Wow, very nice, very empowering. I feel like the golden days where we wanted these kind of good words, back to work. Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for joining. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sonia, where to share your experience? Sonia, are you ready? You have to switch on your
Yeah. Hello everybody.
Hi.
Yes, I am ready, Priyanka.
Yeah.
Yes, so I also support mothers. I'm a lactation professional, and I come across many mothers every day with new mothers after the baby's being born in the rooms. And my heart really feels very emotional when they say, when can I start pumping? I have to resume back work. Do you think I should start bottle right now? Because and then otherwise, how will I resume back to my work when because if my baby is still feeding? And I really give them a very nice hug with a consent and just tell them that just be here in this moment, start your journey of breastfeeding with your baby, have faith, and you will get support. And I think that we women need a lot of encouragement, a lot of support at home, of non-judgmental space, that where the family is supportive and not judging the mother making whatever choices she makes. And this is what I just wanted to share, that there are mothers who really need, who have to work and who are working, and they are so curious that how can they still feed their baby, how can their baby still get the breast milk.
Hey, I'm sorry, I think somebody's mic is on. I think it looks like Notan ma'am's mic is on. If she could mute it, or Priyanka, you could mute it for her.
She has muted. Yeah. I was not able to do. That's why. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Sonia, thank you so much for sharing. Would you like to speak something else?
Yeah, I would like to
continue.
say we are here for the breastfeeding week for the working moms, but I think I should also just want to come here and touch upon on the choices that we can make for not choosing to work, because this is what I did. The day I got pregnant, I just decided that I'm going to take a break. I'm going to just, take care of this baby, breastfeed. And then after he grew up, I decided to have another baby. And then again, I took 6 years. It's for, myself to feel confident enough that now they are able enough to take care of themselves well enough, and then I started working. So I think owning yourself, making your own decisions is also important. Whatever you choose for yourself and for your baby comes from you. And I feel now, after being working and being there as a mother as well, that we need to trust ourselves, we need to trust our own decisions. We should not feel that what will people say if I make this choice. People will think, people will say whatever they have to say, but if you trust yourself, if you own your emotions and your decisions, I think hardly people can affect you. So that's my share. Thank you.
Wow, that was really nice, Sonia. Thanks for sharing your experience and this thing. So next we'll ask Khyati, but Khyati is not online, I guess. So Neha, you can go ahead. You can share. Okay, you are there?
Yeah,
hi. Yeah, please go ahead. Neha, you are next.
So,
yeah, continue.
Wish you a very happy breastfeeding week, first of all. We are really excited and celebrating all over the world. And this topic is very, very important because this is the theme of this year, right? I being professionally, if I say I'm a passionpreneur, I have just given birth to my 4th baby, my birth squad, and I started with it last year. If I talk about my personal front, I'm a mother of three daughters. My elder one is 10 and my twins are 3.5. With both with 3 of them, things were different. In the first time when I was there with my newborn, first baby, I had no clue what to do, what not to do, and nothing was downloaded in the mind. I just had things, very clear in my mind, that yes, this is what we have to eat, what not to eat, what all to do, the general do's and don'ts of pregnancy. Nothing more than that I knew. And when I landed up having the baby in my hands, the moment, because it was a normal childbirth for the first time, so I was very happy. And but the moment it came to breastfeeding, I had no clue, no idea. I really struggled, lot of challenges, because I didn't even know the B of breastfeeding. What is breastfeeding? I know nothing. So somewhere people, my mother-in-law, my mother, and people, friends and family, they gave a lot of support, a lot of unsolicited advices, suggestions, which a new mother doesn't need. She just needs the support and guidance, right? But I did not get that, and I ended up breastfeeding my first baby just after 4 months, which was also a mixed feeding. So she was given bottle, she was given formula. It was all, you know all I would say, which is not recommended, everything I did, right? So because of that experience, I had an inclination towards the new moms. Sorry, somebody's mic is on.
नहीं तो उसने पूछा तुमने कॉल किया
Okay, so first time it was very bad, and I was really not happy. The things were going on, and somehow my inclination, my interest towards pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding took me to, uh,
Mic is on.
Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India. I went there, I took the course, I did the course and the training and everything. And I was really in tears when the trainer was telling me the importance of breastfeeding and the recommendations, everything in detail. I'm sure everybody of like right now knows it. But the first time when you get to know everything, when you get to learn everything, and you know that you have not experienced all of this, you have just somehow skipped, and the importance of breastfeeding for a baby, and you have your baby but you have not breastfed the baby, right? So that guilt was there. Why didn't I breastfeed my baby? There were so many confusions, so many challenges, I could not do that, so I was in guilt. So I thought, no, i should I should make a difference in the lives of other moms, other new moms who wants to breastfeed their baby, but they're not aware about it. So there's lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, lack of support, guidance. So in this way, I somewhere I rooted to this direction, and I'm happy where I am right now. With my second pregnancy, I was not expecting twins, and it just happened. So being a lactation professional, working in a hospital setup, seeing the new mothers and would-be mothers every day, everything. And now it's nothing is left. Feel like that, you start feeling, because you're giving the advice, suggestions, practical help to all of them. So, ho jayega, ho jayega. No, it's not a big deal. So, and I was somewhere, I was very confident also. So I must tell you this, that I did not have many challenges throughout the journey. I was very confident that yes, I would be able to do it. And that's what I did. So they were born on 35th week of my gestation period. So they were little premature, they were little preterm, and they were the weight was also not good. They were low birth weight, 2 and 2.3, like that. Feeding those newborn babies who are preterm, low birth weight was little challenging. But because I was in the process of, telling mothers, educating them, empowering them, so the challenge was like, okay. I was telling my new mothers that yes, twins can be fed like this, football hold and the other holds that we have. So I was prepared for it, and it really helped. I would not say that being a professional, lactation professional, you will not have challenges. You will still have challenges because something you are experiencing for the first time. So I had challenges. My one twin was, she didn't know how to suckle. The moment I placed her on my chest, on my breast, she was like, what? I don't know what to do with this. and the other ones started. So I was happy. Okay. So one of them knows how to do it. So the journey started. I used to feed both of them together most of the times. Most of the times. Uh, Sometimes, obviously, it was on demand. Sometimes there were, times when only one was hungry and the other one was not. So I managed. The support of my husband, my family was very good. That's the reason I could breastfeed right from the beginning of the journey. And somewhere in the family also, they had this thing in mind. Yes, she knows somewhat. It's not that she's a naive mom. She knows. And they supported me, and they helped me a lot. So I used to take that pillow, take one baby on this breast, and I needed help to place this baby on this breast, because it's a very small baby. So I had all the support, and I breastfed. Now I enjoyed breastfeeding, but then I had to resume work. I had to go back to work. And that moment, I was like, will they be able to take care of the babies? Because it's not just one, it's two, and they have to be, given the feed properly and regularly. It should not be missed. So many things in the mind, just like a new mom, or maybe, it's the first time with the twins. But I had to introduce bottle. So I introduced bottles to both of them, because see, practically if we'd say, exclusively breastfeeding twins and then going back to work is not possible. It's not possible for the, people who are taking care of your babies. And when you come back to your, back to the babies, home, then also it feels overwhelmed. I was already overwhelmed with 3 kids. So I had to introduce uh, bottles to them. So initially they were not ready to take it, but they took it. So they were okay with bottles. Then how did I manage? The maternity leave was till 6 months as per the Maternity Act. So just 6 months. But it was a challenge with twins to leave them and then go back to the work. It was not coming from inside that yes, this is the time I should leave. So I asked for an extension of 1 month. So I resumed after the 7 months, not after 6 months. That one thing that I did, because I was not ready to go back. So I took 1 month more. And then I used to feed the babies in the morning. And with you, when you are feeding twins, you will not have so much of milk that you feed, you express, then you feed, and that will not happen. In very few cases I would see that will happen. Otherwise I was like, okay. So at the moment I used to go to the hospital, because I was working in a setup where this was one of the main say focus of the hospital, the main area where they work. I used to go work, take my rounds, see patients, mothers, OPD, IPD. By the time it's lunch time, I used to feel a little heavy. So I used to go to the so it's a hospital setup. So I was blessed to be working in a setup where you are free to pump, you're free to store milk, you can get back that milk to the home. So I did not have these challenges, because I was taking care of the department only. So there was no issues. But still I had to tell this to my manager that I will be doing this, so I will not be available in this hour, that particular hour. Then I used to do that. I used to keep the express milk in the fridge and made sure that I had that bag and everything. And then by the time I was about to come back, I used to take it. And then the moment I come, I was like, it's already full. I could have just joined. I'm still in the process of making milk. It is already full. Then I had to take the babies first go. Sorry. So there was the COVID times. So the babies were born in 2020. And I used to go home, take bath, take shower, complete, because I was working in the hospital. Then take both the babies, feed them. And then I was like, now you get a sigh of relief that it's done. So this is how I did. And when I look back, I feel very proud of myself that I did, because it is not easy. If I talk about the practical things that we have day to day, you're working, you're taking care of home, you're taking care of your babies. It's not easy. You need a lot of support, a lot of guidance, a lot of help at the same time. And you have to manage everything. And the nights were really tough because they were small and they were still feeding. So the entire night I was up only feeding, single baby, or feeding both of them, and then again you have to go back to the office the next day. So this is how I did. In the same phase, in the month of, I think, November or October, all of us, we were COVID positive, including the babies. They were just 8 months old and they were positive. So they were not tested, but the pediatrician says when everybody in the house, is a COVID positive patient, then they are out, supposed to be. So we are not going to test them. Even if they are not, we are not going to test. You keep on breastfeeding. So that was the time when we did not have basic guidelines, or you could say the clarity over breastfeeding and COVID. That was the time. But I breastfed my babies, both the babies, in that time also. And I used to share this with my mothers when I used to go to the hospital, and we had different, seminars and webinars. I used to share this with them that I have done it. So don't worry, you should feed your baby when you are COVID positive. So this thing also happened. And now they are 3.5 years old, and I'm still feeding one of them, not both. So I have not weaned. No process of weaning that I have done. I have asked not to feed. No, it's it's, you will not get anything out of it. I did not say anything to them because my previous experience, my first experience was very bad, and I wanted them to feed as long as they wanted. So the one of the twins, she stopped herself after 2 years. 2.3, she stopped herself. She doesn't have any interest in breastfeeding right now, but the other one is still continuing, still, and she wants it. In the night she wants it. She will not sleep without it, that's for sure.
Great. It was a very goosebump-coming experience of yours. It was very nice listening to you, Kathy. Very nice.
Thank
feel
you
like
so
we
much.
you were explaining it so well. We thought, at least I thought, that I was in your footsteps and I was actually doing, I could visualize that. It was so nice. So nicely you put it.
Yeah, it's still, if I feed one of them, in front of anybody, because when I am at home, she's like, she calls it boo boo, right? I want boo boo. She says, I want boo boo. So I'm like, so Elsa, no boo boo, no boo boo. No, I want boo boo. In the afternoon or something like that, when she comes back, I'm like, okay, fine. So the people around me, family, friends are like, itni budi ho gayi. Too much. 3.5 years is too much. Stop it. I said, okay, I did not ask the other one to stop it. She has weaned herself. Let her wean herself. I will not ask her to stop it. I will not do that.
Correct. Yeah.
So this pressure is also there. It's not only with me. Every mom who is, feeding a toddler.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. Now we'll go to Neha. Neha, are you ready to speak? Switch on your mic. Yeah. Okay, over to you, Neha.
Hi everybody. So you've all heard me yesterday, and I have had experiences of working and non-working with both my kids. So with the elder one, I was working till the last month. I left my job about 15 days, and after that I delivered her. She's a Christmas baby. So I had her on the 25th of December, and I was working till about the 5th. I decided not to work because I wanted to take care of the child. I wanted to be with her. So that journey went off perfectly well. For me, thankfully, the latching happened right from day one. She was a perfect sucker. She wanted and she knew what she wanted. Of course, I would say the initial first 2 days were difficult. And that was more taxing for me, because the doctors, after you deliver, they say every 2 hours you have to feed the baby. Every 2 hours, the baby is not awake. So then they're like, no, so you have to hit the baby. Itna chota sa, they have their foot, right? So you have to hit them on the feet. You tickle them. You do this to them. And they get irritated. Now, anyone, you wake up somebody after every 2 hours and say, no, you have to drink milk. The child will get it. The child will know when they have to feed. They will cry for it. They will ask for it. So those 2-3 days of the doctor telling this to me that, you know, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, that was very, very disturbing. When I came home, all my mother said, when she gets up, you feed her. Now, there were times she wouldn't get up for 4-5 hours. And then I'm all engorged and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I would hand pump and I would keep the milk for some time. I would refrigerate the milk. And then after that, initially, I only used to have it because I didn't feel like giving her that milk. I felt like, oh my God, I should give her fresh supply. When I have, then why shouldn't I? So I gave her fresh always. So the first one journey was very nice. But the second one, I didn't work again because we had COVID at that point of time. But later, when he turned 7 months, is when we were contemplating. My husband was like, why don't you go back to work and stuff? So I joined American Express. We had work from home facilities. And I told them that I breastfeed my kids, so I would need some time off. So they said, you're working from home, so you're already on off. I said, but how am I on off? I need that space and time to feed my child, not to be on the system and feed my child. They said, you have half an hour of break, you have half an hour of 2 allotted breaks, you can take that. And then you can maybe log out for 5 minutes and, you know. I said, 5 minutes mein to koi bachcha doodh nahi peeta hai. Not a 7-8 month old. And if the baby wants to be fed for long, then what do you do? So we had those issues, but the organization was not ready to obviously mend their ways. So, and whenever we would be online, so we had the facility of, you know, keeping our cameras on or keeping our cameras off, but predominantly we were asked to keep our cameras on all the time. So I used to feed and I used to work on the system. I just had a shawl around me, and sometimes generally I wear my husband's t-shirts. Even while I'm pregnant, I've worn his clothes, and even during breastfeeding, because they're loose and it's easier for me. I just lift my t-shirt, he'd be inside here, hands are coming out. All of this is happening, and I would work. This is how I would work. If you can't give me time, my child needs me. I can't tell him that I'm working. So I would work. This is how I would work. And from one hand, it's coming from somewhere in the other. We had our first official meet. All the new joinees were supposed to meet the head. He was based in Argentina and he was working from home. And my baby was crying so badly. And my second one never took a bottle. Never. He just never liked. I was sharing with Febin the other day. I did waste a couple of bottles buying Avent and this and that. Maybe, you know, he doesn't like the nipple and stuff, only to realize that he found my nipple the best. And he decided not to have milk from any bottles. So I did not have that facility to give him a bottle feed because he just did not want to take it. So we met with the Argentinian, our head, and he was again, I was feeding him. There was nothing I could do because he wanted me and I had to give in. And my head, my boss was so amazed, and he actually sent out an email congratulating me and letting all the mothers know that, you know, we should take some time off, and especially if the mother is breastfeeding, we should give them some time off a day. And so I did get a leverage of 1 hour then, other than the lunch break, for the next 6 months or so, if I was working. So I spent about a month in training. I worked for 2 months. And then after that, I quit my job. I was getting paid about 45,000 rupees a month, which was good enough. You're staying at home, you're working. But I was also taking care of the older one. She used to get up. I used to take care of her. Within those half an hour of breaks, I would feed them, give them bath. I've never had a nanny at home for help. I won't say I'm against it, but somehow I don't believe in having a nanny for the babies because I feel that I really wanted them for a very long time and I'm going to take care of them. Even if they exhaust me and they kill me, but I take care of them all by myself. So I left my job after 3 months because it became very, very difficult for my little one to adjust to all of this. It was very difficult. It's a very difficult position if you're working on your table. I used to keep my legs like this to hold him. And then I would feed. And I'm not very heavy on breasts. So I would have to have a pillow also. Or then he's going down and then he wants to change side. So there was a lot of exercise involved all the time. The system is on. So it was not just uncomfortable for everyone else, but it was definitely uncomfortable for my baby. I mean, I don't care what the others think because I've had breastfeeding in public, like random crazy places, and I totally and completely am in for it. So I wouldn't want to be considerate about what the others are feeling. But my baby used to feel very uncomfortable and he wants to lie down. Sometimes they want to lie down and have milk and stuff. So I left my job. I decided I would quit my job. I would give this time to him. I would let him enjoy his journey because he's not going to be breastfeeding for the rest of his life. It's going to be 2, 3, 4 years only. He weaned off on his own completely in 2 years, and then I felt sad. I sometimes, take him and I'm like, you want to have milk? And he's like, no, chichi. But then the older one is there for me. So she always wants to have it. So I'm like, you stay away now. So yeah, I just wanted to share my experience that I did start working. And I worked and I fed my babies while I was in the office online in front of the boss, in front of the employees everywhere. So I did not have any hesitation towards that. But then I left it because for my child. I mean, money can wait. It will come to you, but this will not happen every time.
Yes.
So that was more important for me. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Neha. This was really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Now we can hear Nutan ma'am. Nutan ma'am, are you there? Hello, Nutan ma'am, are you there? I think Nutan ma'am is not there. Nutan ma'am, are you there? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am, please speak. Many mothers may be coming to you with the same problem. You must be hearing.
Yes, in fact, instead of me speaking, there is one of my moms in the group right now, Nidhi Sharma.
Sure.
Maybe she can speak on her experience.
Sure.
You okay with sharing your experience?
Hello.
Hi, Nidhi.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, we all are good. Thank you for sharing your experience. Please go ahead. We want to hear from you what all happened.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, first of all, I'm very fortunate that I got hold of Nutan ma'am's book when I was 5 months pregnant, and I decided to take her course also. So it was, I think, the best decision of my life because I was the first mom and totally ignorant. And of course, I took the course in the 6th month of my pregnancy. She gave a lot of tips about labor and breastfeeding. But at that point, to be very honest, I could not relate with the breastfeeding part because I had not, of course, seen that. So I thought, okay, well, we'll cross the bridge when it comes. So again, the doctors after 38, 39 weeks only, they started saying that, go for a C-section, let the baby be out, he's ready. They, of course, they did not tell the gender.
Yeah.
But because I had taken the course, I was very clear, I will wait full term. And against the doctor's wishes, I waited. So again, only thanks to ma'am, the baby is a full term baby and very healthy, touch wood.
Hmm.
The next challenge of breastfeeding, when it started,
Hmm.
from the first day, the doctors gave the top feed without my consent. Okay, so I was
Hmm.
very disturbed because I knew ma'am had told me that your colostrum is enough, you don't need to give a top
Yeah.
feed, but he gave. So wow, first 2 days I did not protest, I was not in the condition also. But when I came home, that was a very struggling phase because everyone around me, my
Hmm.
husband, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, because
Hmm.
everyone is more experienced. From the day one, they started saying that his stomach is not getting full. Please, you have to give a top feed. At least in
Hmm.
the night, you have to. I remember I
Yeah.
used to cry a lot. And I only, because there was only just one person I trusted, and that was Nutan ma'am. And I was like, no, I have to give only breast milk. And I had to
Yeah.
stand up against everyone. Even my husband, once he had a fight with me that, Nidhi, you're not doing the right thing for the baby, because he was also convinced that I'm keeping him hungry.
Hmm.
And then I made him talk also to Nutan ma'am. And then he realized that, Nidhi, I didn't realize that you're so upset. And he changed after that
Hmm.
somehow. So I think
Hmm.
it is very important to, talk to some mentor and to talk to
Hmm.
some experienced. But well,
Yeah.
everyone around me, even experienced mothers, they tell to
Hmm.
even it was very disappointing that even my gynecologist in front of
Yeah.
my husband, she said that you're not a cow.
Oh.
Okay. She said that you're not a cow. You give
Hmm.
him once or twice a day. What's the problem? So my husband again started saying, even the doctor is saying. But of course, pediatrics, they say ki, do a this thing.
Yeah.
So at that time, ma'am really helped me. I
Hmm.
can't thank her enough, because she helped me with some flower therapy also to control my emotions.
Hmm.
And in 1 month, so till date, it's been 9 months. I did not introduce a bottle.
Great.
uh, After 6 months, again, there was a pressure that you have to join office.
Hmm.
You start formula, at least introduce
Yeah.
him to formula. I said no. I took 3 months more,
Hmm.
and now I have joined office. Again, there was a pressure that you can't feed the baby without bottle. His stomach will
Hmm.
he will stay hungry. I was also very
Yeah.
worried. So again, I spoke to a lot of parents. Even the parents said that you can't do without a bottle. So I then in the end, I again spoke to Nutan ma'am, and she has guided me. Now he's on solids, and uh, apparently I've realized that the baby has adjusted very well,
Yes.
in the sense that if he's eating solids every 1.5 hours, it is not he. I feed him in the morning now, breast milk, and then in the evening around 5. So from 8:30 to 5, he is able, slowly, of course it has been a gradual change, but I can see that
Hmm.
he is able to manage without me. It's our own fear. What will he do? How will he do? How will he
Yeah.
sleep? But I'm seeing that, I've put him in crèche in my office
Yeah.
only. Touch wood, we have a crèche service. So I can see that he's sleeping also. He's eating, in fact, better with them. When I'm trying to feed, he wants only to take breast milk, but when they are
Hmm.
feeding, he's eating.
Hmm.
So, so I'm still, I'm still in that emotional phase. I'm suffering from the mom guilt, but I know that I'm doing the right thing, and so I'm not
Yeah.
stopping my breast milk. I'm feeding him in the evenings and in the night,
Hmm.
and I will try to continue it as long as I can and as long as he
Yeah.
wants it. But at least I'm working on I'm not guilty anymore, because I know that he's eating solids, and ma'am has again guided me on that. Matlab, she is one person, and there's only one person who's giving me the right direction. Otherwise, I don't know. There is so much of ignorance around.
Yes.
Every parent, because I keep talking to mothers. That's what you do, when you become a mother. You keep asking there, and every second person has told me, what will you do
Yes.
without a bottle? What will you do without a bottle? And touchwood, he's never had a stomach upset. He's not had
Yeah.
a, problem only because of that. So that has been my journey till now. It's just 9 months. So I'm still in that phase. So, but I've resumed my work just 2 weeks back. So I really want to thank this, and I think I would also like to join this community of spreading the awareness now after
Yes.
listening to all of you. I think
Yeah.
it's a moral responsibility, to help the young mothers now.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Thank
all
you so
from
much, Nidhi. That was really nice. I think the message is very clear. Like we all have experienced the same thing. The fear mongering talks of the negative people.
yeah.
They everybody around us will only tell us something that will be that will give us fear, so that we will work towards them. Like not what mistakes they have done. They want us to do the same mistake.
Exactly.
So even I did the same. I stopped talking to those people, and like you said, talking to the best person, like you spoke to Nutan ma'am. So you will only get one or two best person and only talk to them, so that your mind is not corrupted at least.
And thankfully, because of my breast,
Yes.
that's all I did. His weight was really, he was never underweight. Even the pediatrician was very happy. Then only
Yes.
they stopped telling me what to do because they could
Yes.
see the results. So yes,
Yes.
you're right. We have to really find that one person to listen to.
Yes. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. We'll move on to our next speaker, Sylvia ma'am. Ma'am, are you ready to speak?
Hi everyone, congratulations. And I'm so glad to hear all the mothers, and especially I can see the joy and your passion for your baby. So congratulations again, and you are doing wonderful job. How Neha spoke about, she is respecting her child, listening to their needs. It's very important. Yeah? Because yesterday Priyanka mentioned that we are God chosen us for our children. Yeah? So we are more than a mother. Yeah? Our role is more than a mother. And so just wanted to yes, we are spoke very less challenges actually, very less practical things. But what is going in the mind, it is like thousand thoughts, and that disturb us continuously. So I'll just encourage mothers, if you're talking to other mothers, instead of taking a advice, you can just share, are you thought the same way what I'm thinking? So if you get the answer yes, then you think like, yes, I'm normal. My challenge is normal. That assurance you need to get. Otherwise, find a good mentor. And yesterday we talked about that how baby's brain is in a developing stage and how fast it is developing. So every sensation is affecting baby's brain. That connections forms. So we have to be careful about that. And that's why we need to give attention to our baby's need and respect that. And again, is all the women who take a stand for their babies, great job. Just few practical things I wanted to share about breast milk. If you are taking in a like in a workplace, or you are out of home, if you are storing it, it will not spoil. In 24 hours, you can just keep it with the nature. It will not spoil. And if you are keeping it in the fridge, don't warm it. warm it, its property will get spoiled. So don't worry. Just keep it in a natural temperature. When it comes in a natural temperature, then you can feed the baby. And feed the baby with the spoon and katori. No need to give a bottle. And mothers who are in the workplace, sometimes you feel like milk is just coming out. It's dripping because we are so connected with the baby. And yesterday we just heard that because our emotional connection, that hormones is released and the breast is heavy and it is available, milk is available. So just when you are taking a milk, storing a milk in a workplace, just feel connected with the baby. You, if possible, you can talk to baby, see the photograph and talk to the baby. Yes, mama is here. I'm thinking about you. And now my milk is ready for you. The small talk. And then you squish the milk and keep it in the bottle. Store it. And milk will come. And yesterday we saw that how we don't need much milk. Little milk. Little, 2 spoons, 3 spoons. If you are storing it 1 spoon, great job, great job. And for the other things, how you can manage this, how you can balance this. Now just keep notebook and pen with you all the time, all the time. Whatever comes in your mind, just write down, whatever. It is not that we will remember it and we will tell. If you have to tell something to the husband, just write down. If you have to give some instruction to the maid, just write down. Just take a little notes every time. So your mind will not be heavy. And have a list of your food item, vegetable item, grocery, week by week. So it is not in the mind. And just you can give that list to your husband or whoever taking care of the, who are supporting you. You can just, they can tell you with the fridge and all. You don't have to do all the work. Not just you have to give the little clear communication instruction to them with the list. So it will be helpful for them and you are also in calm. And what we give advice to mothers, that they have to feed baby in the night time. Definitely. Why? Why is that? Because mother's mind is automatically everywhere, at home, at kitchen, at workplace, everywhere. But in the night time, we are not in the kitchen. We are not in the office automatically. We are with the baby and we are giving full attention. So that's why full attention is needed. And this notepad and pen will help us to give a full attention to our babies. Keep a grocery list weekly or monthly. That can help you. And if somebody wanted to come and visit this time, especially a lot of relatives comes, and our friends, our dear ones, when they ask what I can do for you, so just make a list for that also. Because if we wanted to grow in our relationship, then we need to ask the good thing also, how they can add a value in your life and family's life and your child lives. So potluck is very good. You can ask them to bring some home food, simple food. So this is a great help, great help. If food is available at home, you are free, your mind is free. That's a simple food you can ask them to bring. They can bring chapatis. It takes a lot of time. And chapati can be like 2 days. It can be managed. And yeah, so this small things can help. And I think we need to, time is limited. So I think this much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, that was a very nice insight talk that you actually gave practical solutions. Like how should we do, because you have been talking to many mothers daily basis, so you know more than we are only talking about our experiences, but you have been talking to hundreds of mothers and their experiences, so it's a very nice.
I am blessed to have Nutan ma'am here, and I'm very encouraged, and I feel like a mother, she's a mother figure here. And I feel like I am a mother to all you young mothers.
Yes,
so I'm very happy about it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll go next with Saman. Saman has to say something. She always has something very interesting to share. Let's hear her. Over to you, Saman.
Please. Can you hold it? Take it. Hi, I'm just gonna read out something, and मैं actually कल रात को 3 बजे सोच रही थी in the middle of the night that why did I choose not to work, and then I remembered an instance when I had one child and I had just gotten pregnant with the second one, and I have a background in activism and social work in politics, and that is my passion area. I've volunteered with several NGOs, and I think I've devoted like almost 15-20 years to related work. So this is something that really gives meaning to my life. It is my calling, it is my purpose. And then I became a mother, and then a lot of things change. And then you have to struggle with, there is no sense of me anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. And my time is not my time anymore. And, but you still, there are moments, as much as you enjoy, it is a state of bliss when you can soothe the crying baby, or when you sleep, when you see their chest lift up as they are breathing while they are breastfeeding. Just hold on for a second. Yeah. So I remembered that one of my fellow comrades, he did reach out to me and he said, can you just hold on for a second?
Saman, it's okay. That is the beauty of motherhood. It's perfectly okay. we are fine with it. No problem. Take your time. The child is the most important. We are here for the child. We are here to talk about children, about motherhood. So these things will happen. Let him speak in between. We are very happy to hear him. No problem.
Hello. Sorry. Yeah. So am I audible? Yeah. So
yes, you are audible. Please continue.
A fellow comrade reaching out to me and telling me that we really need you. This is the work that needs you, and we know that you need it too, for your sense of fulfillment and everything. So there's an organization called AIKSCC, All India Kisan Sangharsh Coordination Committee, which is like a parent organization of all the farmer movements that are present in the country, like more than 400 farmer organizations and movements. So I was coordinating all of that. Kabir, please don't do that. Priyanka, can I just do this like at the end of the thing? Maybe you can go ahead with your story.
Yes. Sure. Whenever you are ready, you just switch on the camera. I'll let you speak. No problem. We'll just go on for more than 10 minutes. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So next, I will speak, as I am today's host, and I'm also professionally I'm a lawyer. I have been working individually since about now 9 years. But between the COVID period, when I got pregnant just before COVID, so in 2019, so I delivered before the lockdown started. So I was blessed to be at home for 6 months and everything. But when the lockdown ended, so after that some urgent matters came. So I was their lawyer on record, and so on. So there were many rules, So accordingly, I had to approach the court. So I took my baby. He was just 6 months. I think 1 week to go to 6 months. So he was 5 months and some weeks old. So I took him. I also took the formula, not the formula, but the normal cow milk with me. But I was available as usual. So I took him with me. I went to the court. And like Sylvia ma'am said, when we know that our child is feeling hungry, our breast automatically oozes out the milk. So in between of the argument with the judge and with the 15 of the colleagues who was standing, and everybody, when the court was full only with our case, so it wasn't any urgent matter, I started feeling that milk is coming out. So I came to know that my child is hungry outside. He was just standing. My husband was holding him. He was sleeping and he was feeling hunger. His mouth was like he used to do this. So I just remembered, no, now this, and I'm in the middle of an argument. So I told judge, I did not ask for the permission that shall I go and feed I just told the judge, my baby is hungry. I need 15 to 20 minutes break. So you all have to wait. You have to wait. And I just went. I did not seek their permission, nothing. Just came out. So the judge was so amazed, like he sent his peon outside to ask me, and everything was closed. Only this court was open. So there was no, so I thought about it, and I thought that, okay, I just feed him at the corridor, because COVID was also going on. So there was no safe. So the judge asked the peon to just go and ask, ma'am, aapko koi jagah hai, or you go to the judge's chamber and feed. So when he came, I thought that he came to tell me that you come inside and argue. I shouted at him that you can't see over, the child is hungry. He said, no, I'm here to ask you whether you want a space to sit or not. Then I realized, oh, sorry to burst on you. Yeah, I need a space. So he said that the judge's own chamber is open. He told me to inform you that please go and make yourself comfortable. Nobody will enter. Will vary that. Take your husband if you want to. So with 20 minutes, I was laughing. For no reason, I bursted at those people. Then after 20 minutes feeding him, he again went to sleep. I went to the court, I argued, and after that nobody spoke about that. I mean, it was I felt like, and I was the only woman in the whole court, and all the judges, everybody were male. So I was also feeling a bit ashamed, but I didn't show it on my face. And everybody was like, I could see the proudness in their face, like she stood up for her child. Like, and actually I did not expect that I will behave that way. Afterwards, I thought that it was a bit rude, and I also said sorry, but it was a thing like, now when I recollect, I feel proud about it. And now also those judges see and they recognize me and they say, you always shout on people. Shouted on me also. I said, no, I didn't intend to shout. It was just a natural motherhood, That's no, we understand. We really appreciate that. So that was, and with that incident, it was so famous there. So whenever I go to, now also when I go to that court, some people recognize me because of that incident. Like, you were the girl now who shouted at judge. I didn't shout at judge. I just told something. So this was the story. And another thing, if I can share, like we are also talking about the mothers who are forced to work. So in my household, my maid, she is younger to me, and she has a baby younger to my baby. Her baby is 2 years old, and she is still breastfeeding her. So she is actually, her husband died a year ago when the baby was not even 1 year old, and it was a very tragic death. So, and she had to work. She had to get to work. Otherwise, she was at home. We told her, don't come. She was working earlier also. We told 6 months ho gaya, bas abhi ghar pe baitho, we will pay you the salary, no problem. But she came to work. And now when after resuming to work, when she was coming, many of the people, many of the houses that she approached, they said, no, tera to chota bachcha hai. you will not be, regular. You will take leaves, and we can't trust you. So this is also the problem. When the mother wants to work, but the society doesn't allow. So actually, I went to those people personally with her. I said, who told you that, you should not be given work? If you are ready to work, so then they should be given. This is not the reason. And she's so regular. She doesn't miss one day also. If her child is very sick, she will come late, but she will not miss the day. She's so particular. So I actually went and fought with those people. I said, you should not say that. You discouraged her. You don't allow her to, no problem. You don't want her in your home, but you can't say that you will not come. You can't say negatives to her. You don't have any right to say that. So after that, I told her, you don't, approach those people, because as it is, they will pay you less because you already were a mother. They have preconceived notions that if she is a mother, yeah, she will not be coming to work, and her child will be sick some other day. So she will take leave. So these are the society has to change, and for that we have to stand up. I told my maid that it's high time that you keep mum. You speak when you are going to the work every day, and and only 2 days you are allowed to take your leave off, and then still if they are cutting your fees, then you should speak up. You should not be saying that ऐसा मतलब कुछ चलेगा करके. It's not chalega, and nobody should give you any advice. Don't take any advices, because fear mongering stuffs are everywhere. Like anything happens now, like if her child is sick, to the other person they say कि हाँ डॉक्टर के पास लेके जाओ ना ठीक हो जाएगा. I said क्यों डॉक्टर के पास लेके जाओ, उसको नहीं दवाई देना है. If she is okay, अगर वो बच्चा 2 दिन माँ के साथ रह के ठीक हो सकता है, why should I give the allopathy medicine? Who are you to advise her to give allopathy medicine? So I told her that don't take advices. You take 2 days leave, I'll pay you 2 days leave. Sabka I will pay you, but don't give unnecessary medicines to the kid because somebody wants you to work for their home and all those stuff. So yeah, some mothers really face, but we don't have them. I told her you come and speak, but she said no, I can't speak. It's very odd. I've never been to these like speaking and stuff. So yeah, we sitting. I mean, a middle class and upper middle class will not understand the struggle that every day the maids, the everyday people go through. That is one area where nobody has joined till today. So yeah. Saman, I think you are back, so you speak. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just taking it from where you left, I was going through a history of breastfeeding. I mean, in 6 years, that's all I've done. I've breastfed and I've been reading about breastfeeding, and I've been connecting with people who breastfeed and face challenges. And so this is what happens. And, and even when you see around yourself, even today, is how the system is not, they say breast is best, but nobody is actually supportive of that. They will expect you to join work. They will expect a woman to ace in everything during your periods, when you become a mother, in early years of your children, and that's not fair. And then you hire somebody else who comes from a more underprivileged background, also who has little children of their own, leaving those behind, coming to look after your children in their most formative years. So the whole system is so flawed. It doesn't make sense. And then every time, like you said, all the relatives would come and say, you were doing your PhD, you were doing so well, you had such good potential, you could be anywhere you wanted. And now what are you doing? You could be earning so much. And I'm like, and then for who? Then you would say, get married and have babies. And then I wouldn't have the time to, spend with those babies. So it's very true, the contradictions that we have to live every day. So so when going back to my story, so a fellow comrade reached out to me and he said, come and, support us in this, and I'm sure you can manage. And I said, okay, I'm not so sure, but let's give it a shot. We'll give it a month and we'll see if we can make it work somehow. So after a month, we exchanged 2 messages, and that's what I'm going to read out, and it's going to explain, it's self-explanatory what it says. So, dear Saman, The time has come for us to discuss an unpleasant topic. Thanks to you, at the inception of the relationship, we were both very clear about the responsibilities that you need to handle. My view is that you're not in a position to effectively handle these responsibilities, which is not to say that you're not doing things, you are, but there's a vast gap between what I need and what you can do within the limitations of your environment. I don't know if you have a different view on this, and if you do, please do share it. In any event, please let me know if and how you want to take this forward. If you do, then a lot of things must change, and I would like to discuss that first before burdening you with any further work. We also need to talk about your payment and get that out of the way. But to me, the first and the most important question is, are you in a position to handle this 24/7 burden, to streamline and do minute by minute monitoring of this mission? And it is really a mission, you know, when you're working for the farmers. And so I would be on the same call with Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan and Medha Patkar and all the leaders of all the farmer organizations. So I know what it is, you know, it is you're working for a generation of people. So the kind of fulfillment that you feel doing that kind of work. So this was my response to it. At the onset, I remember saying to you that we should see how we fare in the first couple of weeks, perhaps a month, to see whether we both fulfill each other's needs. You asked me to get on board, and the only reason I did was because I feel for the cause. There have always been other avenues of earning a buck. So like you always say, money is a smaller issue here. As you know, I have put in hundreds of hours of volunteer work in activism, and I never sought anything in return except for the satisfaction one feels for following one's passion and not being an apathetic spectator to everything that is going wrong with the world right now. I was always driven to do things, and I'm more of a field person, but I'm a mother now. And while you will most certainly find someone to suit your requirements, there's no substitute for a mother in a child's life. I don't want to get into details of my personal life because as far as the mission is concerned, it's insignificant. There are many who have sacrificed, and unless one devotes themselves completely to it, there's no point really. There's no half-hearted efforts to make it work. It's do or die, and I realize it. And I also realize that I've failed your expectations. This was an experiment in many ways, and I could only take it up with you and no one else. You have reached out to me in the past, and we have shared a relationship of candid, honest conversations, and we value each other's integrity. So let's leave it at that. I can't ride in two boats right now. In the process, I'm feeling myself as an activist and as a mother both. Kyra, my daughter, she fell ill last night and she's still running a high temperature. I realize my life is not only mine right now, like it was before, when I could push things and push myself to make things happen. I humbly request you to forego the remuneration you offered. I haven't really earned it. It would be more like a burden on your pocket and my conscience. It was good to be back while it lasted. I enjoyed the thrill of being back in the center of things and trying to contribute. Except that I'm not sure if I was. So let's call it a day, at least for our professional truce. I'll do what I'm best at, volunteer and connect people to the cause. I'll continue to do that more actively than before. Office work, managing people, making charts was never my core. I know people who can help you with this, so we'll put you in touch. Maybe our paths will cross again, where we will laugh over the unpleasant conversations and change the world together. So I just wanted to read it out to you because I went through it, you know. And these are the things that I was talking about when I was really driven to get this group going. Is because when I tell somebody my challenges, when I try to share it with anyone, they tell me you should have thought better, you know. None of my friends that I grew up with, that I went to school with, that I went to college with have children. They don't intend to have children. It seems like such a huge responsibility that you have to put everything else in your life at hold. And so nobody wants to take it up. And while I have been an activist in the outer world trying to change the world, the journey that I have been on with motherhood and that internal jihad that I have been on, I don't think anything else has make me more resilient than this. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Saman. That's the beauty of motherhood when the child comes in between the mother speaking. That's the right and also the beauty, I feel. So it is really nice. I mean, you spoke exactly, you nailed it right. If I may say so, you nailed it perfectly right. Our lives are not our lives. It is first the priority is the child, and then everything else comes after that. So yes, so kudos to everybody who all spoke and shared their experiences, and really nice. Thank you so much for joining us today. So
Nutan has actually raised a very important question that why
yeah, please, ma'am, please. Yeah,
moms
ma'am, please go ahead. Yeah, ma'am, would you like to speak now? Ma'am, would you like to speak? Speak, Nutan ma'am.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, that raising a child is. Oh, I'm on mute. Okay. Yeah. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. No, I'm just thinking that raising a child is such an important job and such a major contribution to the country, to the economy. Why cannot we pay our mothers who stay at home and do this really important job? Why cannot we build up community infrastructure to support moms to do this, to raise their children? Like Nidhi is fortunate that she has a creche at her place of work. Everybody doesn't have a creche at the place of work. So the community needs to also chip in and help moms who are doing this very important job of raising a generation, the next generation, which is going to be the future citizens of our country. Just a thought. I mean.
Madam, it is not a thought, it's a revolution that you have started, and we can promise that we will take it ahead. It's a revolution. Yeah, definitely it needs to be. It has been spoken since many years, but nobody took the initiative to actually do this. But now let us, with this group or maybe other groups, other people joining us, we will do some of the other thing to make it happen. At least the future mothers should not face the problems like we did when we started our journey, because when everybody was new. However you must be reading, you must be aware, but when you are a mother, you are a mother, so the experience is definitely different. So no teachings then comes to your way. So I think yes, we can make life easier for other mothers who want to get pregnant. And I think the most of the thing what is happening nowadays is, like, everywhere there is so much negativity about motherhood, about being pregnant, about everything. Like, the new girls who are getting married, they don't want to conceive because अरे responsibility आ जाएगा, we don't know how to manage, कहाँ पे मतलब ज्यादा खर्चा हो जाएगा, तो ये, and the doctor's bill are, या फिर cesarean होगा, फिर body में तकलीफ. Then I think, what should I say? I mean, the fear mongering thing that is happening in the whole hospitals, it starts with the tests. My personal experience was, I did not do any tests. So because test will show the results that the doctors wanted. So they will not do it in my home, they will do it in their laboratory. So they will do it according to them. Then again, they will give me medicines. Then again, the business goes on. So for that, I think, so the advice to the mothers is that don't go for test, trust your body. Accordingly, things will fall in place. The lower class, I'm sorry to say, use this word, but like the maids and all, they don't go to the test, they don't test themselves and then they get pregnant. No, they don't do. You get pregnant from your mind, from your soul, and then from your body. So it's the concept has fully changed, that first you the body has to be perfect, then then the mind and the soul. So the doctors are actually doing this thing. But yeah, now with this group and with other groups also, we will try and do something, make some changes. Like this has been initiated by someone, like she thanks to someone, every day every second in fact we should thank her, that she has started something like this, which has given us the platform. With this we will continue this thing, and let's stop today's topic in a good note.
Can I add something? Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Nutan ma'am, thank you so much. Raising very important point.
Thank you.
14 lakh Anganwadi workers are there in this country.
Yes,
and the biggest child organization is ICDS, India owning that in the world.
Yeah.
But this Anganwadi is working for whom?
Whom? Correct.
Whom? As you said, that even for whom those Anganwadi is made, those mothers are confident to leave their children in Anganwadis?
No, I don't think so.
Then every day, crores of rupees are expending in these issues, in this cause. But what is happening? What is the outcome is coming? And then we think about we middle class people, where we should go. We are not going to neighbor also nowadays. Where we will go?
Yeah.
So we need to really think about
actually,
this issue.
Neighbors used to be a big support earlier.
Yeah.
And that is why community support is also something we need to nurture.
Yes.
11 lakh ASHA workers are there to educate mothers about this topic.
Yes.
But really mothers are getting educated. I'm not talking about the middle class.
Yeah.
But every woman who are here, who are speaking, who are sharing your heart, I really appreciate that, because we are making difference.
Yes.
We need mothers. We need to speak up.
Yes.
Yes, young mothers are here. They are getting support because they feel, yes, support is there.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. This is the very nice thing that you have said, that the new mothers will get support. This is the support that we needed. At least I needed, because to at least hear that yes, this is the normal thing. Everybody goes through this. Only this much was needed. Because our moms are of other age, so they saying something is a parent who is saying something. So we want some friend or some junior to tell us that it's okay, it happens with me also. So that was so we are here to exactly do the same thing, to bestow our support. Whatever support you want, you take, but just don't feel negative. Okay, thank you so much everybody for joining today. This was a really very, very nice session. Kudos to everybody. Thanks to all. Okay, signing off. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.